And we are back with another incredible summit sneak peek. And today I am joined by one of our esteemed presenters, Tanya Goodall Smith. Tanya, thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm so happy to be here.
And I am so happy that you are speaking at our upcoming Get Good at Business Summit. You are actually a return speaker. So you got to see all of our summit for March. And now you get to learn and grow with all of our speakers. And our audience gets to learn and grow with you again here for our event in May. So for those of you watching, this is all about the Get Good at Business Summit. This is a virtual summit for entrepreneurs who, of course, want to get good at business. It is happening May 16th and 17th from 9 to 4 Mountain Time. If you go to summit.getgoodatbusiness.com, you can check out all the details there, and specifically check out the information about Tanya's session. So Tanya is a branding expert, founder of Work Story Creative, and a certified personal branding strategist for Brand Builders Group. She's worked with hundreds of international personal, fashion, and tech brands, including Guess, HP, Microsoft, Gary Johnson Bishop, and the Life Coach School to develop and improve their brand assets. Now, she does the same for personal brands and micro businesses. She served on the board for the National Association of Women Business Owners and was a finalist in the Maria Sharapova Women's Entrepreneur Program. She has a degree in visual communication from the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, and her expertise has been featured in dozens of leading industry publications around the globe. In short, to summarize, Tanya knows her stuff and is an expert brand person, right? She has a branding agency and she is amazing. So when it comes to the summit and getting good at business, Tanya is going to be teaching us all about the power of personal branding, how to leverage influence and impact for business growth. So Tanya, very impressive bio and resume. I have seen you speak before, obviously, because you spoke at our March summit as well. But tell us the points between. How did we go from being in this space and working with these, I'm going to say, high-powered brands to the shift of helping entrepreneurs and micro businesses discover the power of personal branding?
So there can be kind of segmented, right? We have our business brand and then our personal brand, or sometimes it's one and the same. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like we can leverage your personal brand either way. And it's really important to have one in this day and age. And even if you're not intentionally creating a personal brand, if you're on Facebook, if you're, putting yourself out there somewhere, you've got one, whether it's intentionally created or not. And so if you're wanting to make that bigger impact or grow your business, intentionally having a strategy for doing that is really going to make it easier. It's going to make it more effective. And even if you don't have a business, which our audience does, but if you're a CEO or whatever, having a personal brand can also help you get greater opportunities, be sought out by more people, make more money. So, anyone who's wanting to grow in their career and business should be working on their personal brand.
Absolutely. So share with us, because I think it's important to note that all of our sessions at the Get Good at Business Summit are based in practical application and not just theory. Hey, here's what we think will happen. And obviously you've worked with major brands, you've worked with hundreds of international personal fashion and tech brands. You're working with these micro businesses, these entrepreneurs. I also know that you work a lot with introverted entrepreneurs. So, but I would love to know a success story, right? Based off of what you're going to be teaching us in your session, right? How have you seen, or have your clients seen, success in their businesses from having a powerful personal brand?
Sure. So one recent client, she was a psychologist with a PhD, super knowledgeable, but she was wanting to add more mindfulness practices and walking and talking together, things that she could not offer legally as a psychologist. And so she was wanting to make that transition, but she wasn't sure how, what should she offer? How much should she charge? What does she even call herself? Should she have a business? She had a business name. And so, but yeah, she wasn't sure if it was a good fit. And so we did what I call a brainstorm, where we get everything out, what are the ideas? What are the problems? Who's your audience, or who should it be? And then from there, helped her develop her name. I thought she should go with a personal brand, so we went with her name. And we put doctor in there. I'm like, you have a PhD. You should not be embarrassed about that. Like, she is an introvert, and she was like, I don't know. Seems like I'm bragging. I'm like, you are the expert. Like, when someone shows up in your presence, you are the thing that is transformative for people, and just you hold space for them. I was like, we have to call this your name. And so she went.
And utilize the doctor piece. You went to
Yeah.
school, you're an expert, you know what you're doing.
Right. And we put the PhD on, she's like super modest about it. And I'm like, you have to own that. So we developed her logo and colors and messaging and all that stuff. But the outcome of that was her confidence just going through the roof, or at least slowly building. Like, I'm watching her blossom. She's doing reels on Instagram every day. She's sharing her message. She's got her offers out there that we developed. And she was really reluctant to sell them, right? Like, I think for anyone starting a business, if you don't have any sales experience, that can be a challenge. For introverts too, like, we just don't, it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but she's selling herself. And I've just loved seeing that transition, going from like, I don't even know what to do, to now, like, I have these solid offers. She's planning a retreat. She's going to networking events, and just all of these things we planned in her strategy coming into place and being beautifully represented by the visuals we created. She has templates on social media that look really branded, and it just makes it easy for her, right? She can let her brand do the talking for her as an introvert.
Ooh, I love that. The power of the personal brand, especially for introverts, is that the brand can do the talking for you.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I have to say, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, that's the premise of my upcoming book, is that, you can show up, put yourself out there without having to change who you are, feeling pressure to speak more, or be extroverted. If you're following this framework, you can let that do the talking for you, and sell yourself and your offers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's such an important note there of personal brand means it has to be you.
Yeah.
And it is that, like, you without having to change, but still having that impact, still having that influence. So I love that.
Yep.
But I have to say that I know that this topic, that what you're going to be teaching us at the Get Good at Business Summit, is so needed by so many business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking around going, I just want to get good at business. I know I need to have a personal brand, or I know I need to have branding. And your session is going to teach them the power of that, and some practical tips that they can apply right away to start to leverage that influence and that impact. So for those of you watching, if that's you and you're like, yeah, I totally want to come, guess what? Tanya has an amazing offer for you to attend this summit. If you go to summit.getgoodatbusiness.com and you type in Tanya when you register for your tickets, you can get your ticket to the Get Good at Business Summit for free. And here's the most amazing part too. Not only do you get to learn from Tanya, we have over 20 expert, incredible speakers who are all dedicated to helping you get good at business. But Tanya is the name that's going to get you your ticket for free. So go to summit.getgoodatbusiness.com and type in Tanya, get your tickets for free. And Tanya and I will see you May 16th and 17th at the Get Good at Business Summit. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks, Tanya, and we'll see you at the summit.